new products, including its highly anticipated
There
next
we go.
generation iPhone. Some are predicting a new.
So it's up $1.44, pretty decent, modest gain for them. They don't always really go up a lot at a time. Yeah, see the Dow futures are up, NASDAQ futures are up, so today should be a pretty decent day, so crossing our fingers. So what's up, guys? So it is 4:35. I did a live stream for the Apple keynote, so if you guys did tune in and stop in and say hi, thank you guys for doing that. That was really cool talking to you guys. And I'm gonna show you guys how we're doing, and then I'm just gonna give my my feedback or my what's it called, my reaction or my thoughts on the keynote, and then we'll just wrap it up because that was really, the news was dominated by Apple today. So I'm just gonna talk about Apple. So let's just see how we did. Okay, so we are currently sitting at 140, so we didn't lose a lot today. It's kind of sucked because we were up about $4 grand, and then we ended up being down about 1,600. But I was being prepared for that because this happens every year with Apple. People go into the keynote, almost everyone already knows what's going to happen because every single thing has been leaked. It happens almost every year, and so people were hoping and praying that the iPhone X was going to be a little bit less expensive, but it's still going to be $1,000, and I think that's kind of what drove the price down. And there was no unexpected surprises, and so really, I'm not worried because people will eventually still buy it, and Apple stock will still go up just like it always does. So let's just look at who our gainers were. In the middle of the day, it was Apple, but as you can see, none of those Apple calls are up there anymore. They all moved to the bottom. But we have Home Depot on top, which was at the bottom yesterday. So that was a nice little comeback with them. Then we have Micron, had a good day. Universal Display had a good day. And then a few others. So not really anything fantastic from everything else other than Home Depot. We had a bunch of them that didn't move. And then our losers, you could probably guess, was Apple. Apple was all over the place today. And it sucks that they ended down. Sorry, ran out of space again. But like I was saying, once people get over the fact that, actually I don't remember what I was saying, but Apple, yes, this happened last year. You know, everyone knew going in what was going to happen, so the Apple stock eventually went down at the end of the keynote, which is what happened today. So I'm not really worried. Like I said, I think it's going to go back up once people get over the little price shock. They're going to buy it, and they're going to love their phone, and so I don't think this will be much of a problem. The only thing I am worried about is this particular call because it is expiring in December, and the iPhone X doesn't come out until November, and so it doesn't leave me a lot of time for Apple's price to hit this 170. We are pretty close. They are at 160, I believe. So we're only $10 away, but this is the one that's at most risk of losing value, and so I need to keep a close eye on this one, and maybe I'll consider just selling it and then rebuying some further calls or something like that. Anyways, let's look at the watch list, and then we'll just wrap it up here. So let me scroll down a little bit. So here's the first page. Nintendo is doing really well. $43 a share. I think that's pretty much their high. We got Netflix on there, so that's cool. Here's the second page, third page, fourth page. Applied Materials and Universal Display went up, so that's really cool. NVIDIA went up also, so that's also cool. And then here's some losers here. Tesla went down just a little bit, but they had such a phenomenal day yesterday that they're still sitting pretty. And there was Apple. Let me go back to Apple. So not a horrific day. They're still at 160. They're within $10 of that strike. I still think they could pull it off. Well, we have to see how these pre-orders are, though. If pre-orders are good, then we will be just fine. All right, so let's talk about the keynote. Okay, so the keynote. I think there's one thing that people are really underestimating and overlooking, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I think one of the coolest parts of the keynote was the Apple Watch. I think that was one of the highlights. Being able to make a call without having your phone, I think is going to be such a big game changer for people who have the Apple Watch, because there's been times where your phone dies or you forget your phone, or I don't know, you just can't make a phone call for some reason or whatever. So having that other option, I think, can be a lifesaver, and especially in those situations where you really need to make a call or really need to talk to somebody, it could be a really good backup device, and I think a lot of people will enjoy that. I think that's really cool. I'm really considering getting an Apple Watch for that reason. The Apple TV 4K. I mean, if you really haven't experienced the 4K HDR picture, I highly suggest you try that out. If you know someone who has a 4K TV with HDR, ask if you can watch a 4K movie at their house, or go to Best Buy and check it out. It's really a much different picture than regular HD. And the fact that Apple can be streaming in that's going to be awesome. I think that's another good thing. And then the iPhone, of course. The iPhone 8s are actually still quite decent. I mean, the AR, and this is what I was going to get to, the AR is going to be big. I don't think people realize it yet, but once AR is incorporated into more apps and people can utilize the AR technology, I think that's going to be huge, and I think the iPhones will be the best equipped to do that. I don't know if that AR kit can be used on Samsung phones. I'm not sure, or on Android phones. I don't know. But if it's specific to iPhone, like their Swift programming language, for example, is, I think that's going to give them a huge leg up over all the Android phones, and I think that's going to be a huge thing for them. Plus, it's just going to be really cool. I mean, if you haven't tried really AR or VR, you have to try it to really understand how awesome it is. And I think that's going to be the big thing that people are not going to realize until they start using it. So I'm really not that worried about Apple. I think overall, yes, $1,000 is a lot for a phone, but if you think about it, this is what you're getting. You're getting a computer, you're getting a phone, you're getting a video game console that can play really cool games, you're getting a camera, like a really nice digital camera, and you're getting, I forget what the fifth one is, a TV. Like you can stream, you can watch stuff on it like a TV. So you're kind of getting like 5 devices in one with these smartphones. And so I think really, at the end of the day, $1,000 isn't outrageous for what this phone can do. Maybe I'm just a little bit biased towards Apple, but whatever. I mean, I still think it's a really awesome phone, and you can always do like the monthly plan. You can get discounts with upgrades, so you don't always have to spend the full amount. I think once people get over it, they're still going to buy it. So with that said, I think we're going to be okay with Apple. But if you did like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any comments, actually, question of the day is, what did you think about the keynote? I know this is probably going to be coming up very late, but what do you think? What do you think of the new iPhones? Do you want to get one? Do you plan on getting one? Were you planning on getting one and now you're thinking about going to Samsung? I want to know what your comments and your thoughts are, so please comment below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.